This is Snaris again, and this is my Ninja Gaiden 4 Master Ninja difficulty walkthrough with Yakumo. This is the final chapter, chapter 19, Ebon Wings, which I believe is just another way of saying black wings, right? Well anyway, for this entire starting sequence you're basically going through the last mission's exact structure and terrain, except there's less enemies, but you can skip every enemy if you want to, and that's what I would recommend. Just run past them all, just get away from them, and then get to the next checkpoint where you'll be able to stock up on items if you need it, or get a little bit of health if you took damage along the way. And then you'll come to Ryu, which in my opinion, Ryu, while it didn't take as much time as some other fights in this game did for me, I still think Ryu Hayabusa as a boss is the hardest fight in this entire game. Because he is a bit of a cunt, but I can never hate him. He's very fair. And if you remember what I said about the Leech Fang, no, not the Leech Fang, but like some other, yeah, Strife God Orbs, it's just behind you, off to the right there, as you go in the door. But Ryu is a very tough boss, and it's not only until my S rank Master Ninja Guide that I'm going to get around to eventually, with commentary, that you'll start to see more and more about why I think Ryu is actually a lot easier than you think. But with this, basically keep in mind that whenever he attacks you, it's pretty easy to get a perfect dodge or to parry it, but don't let him hit you too much. And he can steal any red orbs lying around to charge his ultimate, and when he does, keep the hell away from him, because he will mess you up. And every moment you think you're vulnerable, or think he's vulnerable to an attack, that's when he strikes. And the moment you let your guard down and stop blocking, or the moment you start moving around from where you're standing, that's when he strikes. And he uses the Flying Swallow as well. Now that was a very lucky dodge, because if he hit me with that, he probably would have killed me. So don't be put off, this boss isn't as hard as you think it is, but yes, it's still very dangerous. This is probably attempt maybe number 5 or 6 that I died at, I think. It's still probably my favourite boss in the game, probably. Because again, like I said, he's very fast, he's very difficult, but I can never hate him. And this is Ryu we're talking about. Like, it's a lot like how no matter how much in Devil May Cry they've been pushing Nero in 5 and in 4, no matter how hard they try, Devil May Cry is always going to be, it's always going to be Dante. It's not going to be Virgil, it's not going to be Nero, it's always going to be Dante. And Ninja Gaiden is always going to be Ryu. Which is why I'm quite interested to see what the 2 Masters DLC is going to do for him. So you said before in the beginning of the second phase, what he was doing is that he used one of his Ninpo to fire fireballs at you. He fires 3 of them, but because Yakumo's got the mechanical arms, he can interrupt it very quickly and stop it. And that would have killed me right there. But shockingly, my dodge game was very on point in this run in particular. And so he uses other Ninpo as well, like one that can attack you when you're surrounding him, just like that. Stay away from that. That would have done a lot more damage to me if I was closer and I didn't have the Iron Brew on. So keep a healthy dosing of bloodbind up, because you're going to need it. He uses a lot of special attacks. He charges in on you constantly. But I had a very good go with this. See, look at that. And I'm spamming health potions trying to protect myself, but it didn't work. I used my Instance of Rebirth, and he goes, Azuna drop, I'm almost dead. That should have killed me. I think I should be dead from that after that, I'm not going to lie. So I just turn on the Berserk state, and he's stuck against a corner, so I'm just going to go ahead and use an ultimate and finish him off. Take no chances, take no prisoners, and that's it for Ryu. So I could have done a little bit better there, and you'll probably do a lot better than I am. So even though you get the, well, if you've done certain challenges and beaten all the bosses in the replay mode for the, I think there's like a boss rush mode as well as the challenges. If you've beaten them all, you can unlock the Dark Dragon's blade again. It's just unlocking a version of Ryu's sword that you can use. So you can use his moveset without the Ninpo. I don't care for it. Yeah, these enemies here, you can just go ahead and skip them. Just run on by. Off to the left, there's an Incense of Rebirth if you need it. Saves you 15,000. And you just keep going along the side of the building here. You'll come to a Darkness terminal and a Terran statue you can load up at. And then you'll do one more like wall jump back and forth, and eventually you'll come to the top where you'll fight the Dark Dragon. And I believe I did die once, but I was very close to beating it, and then I tried again and smashed it. And my fight against the Dark Dragon here will be a little bit less graceful than it is with Ryu, and not just because his Ninpo is absolutely broken, like I've said before multiple times. It's just that I was still kind of discovering how the Dark Dragon behaves. I overestimated him. He's a bit of a cream puff, and in his second phase, I would argue, while he is more difficult, it's still not that difficult. You just got to chase him down and be hyper aggressive. So if you don't know what I'm doing here, I'm just jumping back and forth between the walls. Skip the cutscene, get right into the fight. Hold your block. Or if he does this all the time, which I'm not sure if he does or not, just start spamming your bloodbind attacks. Because that way you can catch him off guard. Now when he does that, does the roar, immediately dodge. Don't try to do anything, just dodge off and then use a bloodbind attack with the mechanical arms. The Dark Dragon doesn't take much punishment, luckily, and that's good because I'm not a huge fan of this boss. I love the way it looks, but I just don't think it's a good boss fight. Just keep blocking this, and eventually he'll do a special attack, interrupt it with mechanical arms, and then switch to your sword and fight it, or just keep spamming it with that. Now when he does this, that eye is going to open up, so you need to be careful of a laser that comes out. You can interrupt it if you want to, it's not a big deal, but personally I found that it's very easy to dodge, and so you can take advantage of that by allowing him to do that, because then as soon as he does it, you're not actually allowed to stop it. He has to keep going until it's over, and it takes ages for it to be over, and when it's over, you can continually smacking away at the outside of the Dark Dragon and doing more damage than you could otherwise. And that was a very, very close timing there. But his first health bar is gone, move on to the second phase, a little bit of a cutscene. And what he's going to do here is he's going to set that area on fire and he's going to move across to your one, so you need to get off your platform quickly. And then he'll come for you eventually. Now what I don't do in this is that as soon as you break his guard one time for the platform that you're on right now, and then he disappears and he starts running away, you need to immediately run to the other side. Keep going to the other platforms, because then he'll just create all these lightning strikes. And you've got to keep in mind to move left to right and always mix up where your movement's going to go, because it'll always track where you're going to stand. Where you're heading towards, that's where the lightning strike will be, and it's designed to catch you off guard. So I should have been moving a lot faster right here. So he's doing the lightning bolts and everything. I don't know if it can hit you when you're on those poles, but wherever you're standing, that's where he's going to start shooting down lightning and where you're going to run to. I probably should have dodged first as soon as I got on solid ground before, but no. Let him tire himself out. Use bloodbind attack, knock him down. You don't really have enough time to do ultimates against him, unfortunately. But that's okay, because again, he's a bit of a cream puff, doesn't take that much damage, it's no problem whatsoever. And I'm making a mistake here because I think he's going to come charging at me from out of the ground or off to the side. But see where I'm going? Where I'm about to go is where he starts shooting the lightning. And so far, from looking back on this footage, I went a lot more gracefully than I remembered. See, he does the lightning again, dodge a couple times, fire off a shuriken from the mechanical arms, get him stunned at the dodge again because more lightning will still come down. And then you go ahead and finish him off. And what this leads into is one of my favourite executions in the entire game, but I just had to include it, even though it's quite long. I just shortened it up a bit. And look at that imagery, it's so cool. I almost used that as a thumbnail for one of the video series on Ninja Gaiden 4 that I would do. And it's kind of a funny thing, but I'm quite excited for when the Two Masters comes out, because I've seen the promotional poster for that, and while it's rather bland looking, I still think I want to use it. So what I did here with the Dark Dragon Phantom boss is I paused it, retried from checkpoint because I was lower on health and I'd used a bunch of items. So I restocked, got myself back up to full health. And unlike the first walkthrough I did, or attempted to do, in this one here, I actually beat the Dark Dragon Phantom first try. And I didn't use as many items as you would expect. Like, unlike the first time where I was so low down, this time was a lot easier. So pretty much whenever you can, just put on the Iron Brew, put on the War Brew, make sure your bloodbind's all stocked up. This Dark Dragon Phantom copies basically all of Yakumo's moves with his swords, and that's it. So keep out of the range of it, and you'll be alright. He does get a little aggressive, and he is sometimes a little hard to see, but it's not until the second phase he starts employing more of the Dark Dragon's abilities. So there I go, getting hit again. And what I mean by that is he'll start using like a fire breath that sweeps the arena. As long as you keep away from it, it's not going to hurt you. It doesn't even do that much damage anyway. But the one thing you need to look out for in particular, see, I should have avoided that, that was a mistake. But one thing he does is he shoots out like 2 discs of energy or something, and then the third one covers a big range, and that's what always caught me out in the first walkthrough I did. And you can dodge it by jumping up or using the bloodbind attack where you stand up on your sword and you just stay up there and out of harm's way. I don't know if it'll track you all the way up there, but it can do. So it just comes down to good dodging. You can interrupt it pretty early if you have the bloodbind gauge high enough to do a move. But this thing here, this laser, even though it comes up with a danger diamond telling you to stop it and to interrupt it, you're not allowed to do it until he starts doing the laser. You seeing me interrupt it right there, that's as fast as you can do it. But if not, and that laser comes off and you don't have the bloodbind needed to do anything, what you want to do is you want to wait until it hits the ground, and then it'll slowly start moving up, and you need to dodge that, or you just run from side to side doing the slide dodge, just sliding across the ground, getting out of the way. But then as soon as that laser sweeps upwards into the air, in about a second it comes straight down again, and it's a lot more accurate, and it'll probably hit you. So you need to be really careful of that, and just keep up running back and forth. If you're about to run into a wall, get the timing right. And this was a really, I kind of wish I could show more, because this is an abnormally graceful fight for me. I didn't use all that much in terms of health potions. I don't think I went down with the instance of rebirth needing to be needed, but yeah, I did it. And that's the death of the Dark Dragon Phantom. It still bumps me out to no end that we didn't get this as a costume unlock. This wasn't a costume that was available to use for beating the game, or at the very least for beating Master Ninja. It's ridiculous. I think when it comes to 2 Masters DLC, if they don't have different costumes, I think I might just keep Ryu as he is. But with Yakumo, I might use the Master Ninja or Master Raven costume he's got, where it's kind of the same, but his pauldron, instead of these like weird armor plates, it's going to be, I guess it's like a raven head with wings as a shoulder pad. He's got like red wrappings. He looks really cool. Like he looks like an official master, and it's really great. So this here is just the epilogue. Well, a kind of epilogue, an extension of the ending of the game, where it's got the credits rolling, and you can take out rogue DDO soldiers, and you don't have to fight them, you can just run on through, but it's just like the prologue and chapter 14, where you have infinite health, and it doesn't show you your meters or anything, but you can still use these attacks, and your build will determine how fast you can get it back. And I think, I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it gives you a free berserk state, whatever you want, because I'll be using it pretty soon. Just take out like a whole group of enemies at once in just a few seconds, and then I can move straight on to the end of the game. Personally, I think these moments like this, where the camera just stops you moving and you're walking along, I think it completely ruins it. And to be honest, the song that plays in this is not as graceful as the credits song, which is Saw, which is what I talked about before. I think Saw's a great song. It's probably my favourite in the entire game. But this is a really beautiful sequence. And I know story-wise, there's a lot more significance to the idea that Yakumo frees his clan and Ryu's clan from all this time of being devoted to protecting the world from the Dark Dragon and only imprisoning it, but now it's gone for good. And I just think, where's Ninja Gaiden going to go after this? Like, what's going to be the new antagonist that could rival the Dark Dragon? What's sort of the plan going forward? And I don't know what to make of it. I've never been a huge die-hard Ninja Gaiden fan like I have with God of War or Devil May Cry, but, you know, I still have a great, profound respect for it. I just hope that whatever the next game is, they can find a way to mix it with Platinum Games' brand of style of combat, but then also mix it up with what Ninja Gaiden is supposed to be like. So yeah. It's not a super great game, but I still think it's very good, and I think in a little while it'll have a bit of a resurgence. People will pick it up when they have more interest in it. I haven't completely lost hope for Ninja Gaiden to continue as a franchise, but you know, it's not looking so great right now. Still a great game. I'm going to give it its flowers. And with that profound message, we've finally ended it all. And that's the end of Ninja Gaiden 4 on Master Ninja difficulty with Yakumo. If that was your first time, then you've got your trophy and achievement. And you should be proud of yourself, especially if it's not something you typically do, playing on high difficulties. And as far as Ninja Gaiden 4 goes, I'll see you guys in the combat trials, or on whatever series you want to watch next. Goodbye.